Things in Wyatt's mind. I got just 2 words for you. Noot, noot. Okay, folks. For this episode, I'm about to break a rule for this series. I never really watched Pingu that much growing up and don't know too much about it. The only reason I'm doing an episode on it is because Simon had asked me to more than a year ago, and I suppose it's time for me to fulfill that request. Plus, Pingu deserves an episode on here because of how unusual of a show it was. So anyways, Pingu was a show that originated in Switzerland and aired from 1990 until 2006. Jeez, this was airing for a hot second. So this here was Pingu, a penguin who lived in Antarctica with various other peers. Most of the characters were just other penguins with the exception of a seal. Apparently, the plot of the show was about Pingu having a new baby sibling, which gives Pingu the assumption that his parents will favor the baby over him, prompting him to run away from home. This is actually why Pingu is seen carrying a bindle in the opening sequence. Keep in mind, however, that this is only my guess. It was hard to tell what was going on in Pingu because the entire show was spoken in a fictional language called Penguinese, which is actually really good for the international countries since they didn't have to do any dubbing. However, in every episode, Pingu would always say, "Noot, noot." I actually do a really decent impression of this line. Noot, noot! Okay, enough of that. Another thing to note is that a show like Pingu could not exist today. One notable episode had Pingu urinating on screen, and another episode was banned from the USA. The reason? Because that particular episode featured Pingu having a nightmare that a giant walrus was attacking him. This walrus scared kids so much that the episode never aired again. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's go on to something I find very, very amusing and quite possibly hilarious. In 2017, Pingu got a reboot called Pingu in the City. What was so funny about this is that it was produced in Japan. This alone technically makes Pingu an anime. I kid you not, it's even on myanimelist.com, so it's official that Pingu is an anime! Although I wasn't really much of a Pingu fan as a kid, looking at it now, I could see why so many others liked it back in the day. Anyway, let's see what comes into my mind next time, and I'm Wyatt Ollinger signing off. Things in Wyatt's mind! Ew.